chat in the chit chat box before I go anywhere. Looking over here at Cardano, we can see that we have continually moved towards the top side, and our next target in here at 74 cents, where we have the 41414, the 4414 is of course still very much on the cards. There is a very clear possibility of having a wedge here, as we've had so many times along the way. If this were to break again, then you're just looking at the same sort of volatility towards the top side as being your most statistically likely outcome, going at what we've seen in recent history, which is actually carry us on past the 414 up into this sort of uncharted territory, and I'm happy enough to remove that Fibonacci from here off the charts, taking us of course for higher all-time highs, and the next target up the way being 81 cents. Right. He can speak. It speaks. Yes, he does. It speaks. Taking us up towards our next target of 81 cents. If we get a nice positive resolution, movements down the way takes us down towards the parabolic SAR point. And of course, you know, at this point here, the reason why the parabolic, not the reason why, because this is based on maths, but looking at this from a holistic strategic point of view, the real sort of area to be aware of course, lining up here with our previous lows, breaking that market structure, taking that full move out, does mean that there is a definite change in flavor on the market by breaking down past that point over there. What is that point, Rocky? I hear you asking. And that is back there at those 60s areas. There's a nice 20% drop off in the technical analysis after last week when we talked about the potential for a pullback, as I spoke about with yourself out there, Silicon Chat, if you're watching this particular episode. And this is your current TA yet again for you. Don't be coming to me, by the way, anybody, and asking me, is it too late to buy? Overall, too late to buy is something that you should probably, every single one of us in crypto world, should get tattooed right across our foreheads. No is the answer. If anything, the 10 years has taught us in terms of the grand scheme of things, is it too late? Then the last decade has told us that it's probably not too late, as we see Elon Musk just forking out $1.5 billion allegedly for the first time recently with regards to Bitcoin. Now, I think a type of guy like the one that would have invented PayPal would have a good idea about cryptocurrencies, and it's probably not his first foray into these markets. Nevertheless, let's treat it like it is and be aware that 10 years after the get go button is not too late to get involved in something. Nevertheless, again, let me be quick to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. You're all on your own out there at the end of the day. Work hard, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. That point there would offer up a decent buy entry with nice risk management. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but if it pushed past that zone, I would be happy to try and also take advantage of any short-term moves that were happen to be on the cards at that point. We're looking at things like 20% drop-offs representing the difference between the local high and local low at the moment. Risk management in amongst that, whenever you've got as much rope as that to go ahead and lasso onto, then you're probably going to be okay if you can trade this with any degree of alacrity at all. Now, new traders into the market, you're always going to struggle. I'm afraid, I'm sorry, that's just a statistical norm. You always are, but I'm here to help you. If you find the sort of things that we're talking about here in this episode, be sure to help try and support the channel with the likes of Patreon, patreon.com/rocky.outcrop, and a like and a subscribe goes a long way if you're not willing to fork out any cash. Moving on with the show, because that's all you're getting in terms of Cardano technical analysis. In fact, because everything has already been covered, but I will like to point out a couple of little things for people who are maybe savvy enough to follow along with what I'm doing here at this point, because you know, there we have these things that are worth mentioning here and here. For instance, now we also have as well over here the possibility of this being worth a mention, but at the same time, let me also caveat what I just said there by, of course, reminding people of things like that event over there. And then, of course, remembering that, of course, there is one real key thing at any given time in any market, and that is, of course, simple market structure. Right? Understanding simple market structure is the key to understanding price action for 9 out of 10 scenarios that you're probably looking at, which is why I've made this very extremely clear for a very, very long time. Everybody that's watched along with any of my Cardano videos over the last couple of weeks should be pretty much aware of that already. Okay, so that's your rules. Moving on.